Hi, everybody. So, if anybody can hear me, give me a shout out. Get Tammy's phone set up here so you can see the live stream going on as it's happening. Anybody out there? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. And let's do this. Let's get this thing set up. Give me a couple more seconds here. There we go. There we go. Right. There we go. Right. Now I can hear things here. We've got to keep you. There we go. Sounds good. Nacho lines. Let's go. Mike O'Brien. Hello, James. I don't recognize Mike O'Brien. If you're new, let us know. We're glad to have you here. Nova Frenches can hear you good. Amber says, hope all is good. It is. Castle Hill Labs. Hello. So we've got a few of you here. That's great. Good. So, Nova French's got the poop trays. Good. Well, how are they working out for you? Have you used them yet? Let us know what you think of them. If they're horrible, then don't say anything, right? But if you think they're wonderful, shout it to the rooftops, please. Stacey Willis is with us. Rafe Morino says, how do you feel the Frenchie market is? Do you think there is a potential to make good sales still? A lot of people are breeding. Well, that's a good question, and I think that's something that we should ask everybody who's listening what their experience is. I'm going to give you my experience, or Tammy and my experience. And by the way, Tammy will be here in a couple of seconds. So I'm going to wind this down just a notch here, kind of get me centered in it. There we go, because you won't be able to see me in all my beauty, right? Right? Okay. Well, so, I say the same thing over and over a little bit, so it's kind of a bit monotonous, but the part of the problem here is we have to go back to COVID, pre-COVID, and what we've got now in the aftermath. So COVID that affected us all in basically 2020 really made what turned out to be a fantastic opportunity for people who had puppies, in that a lot of people are stuck at home. A lot of those people had thought, well, you know what, this is the time to get a dog. A lot of those people had lost their jobs and wanted a different source of income. All of that combined together, all of a sudden, the value of puppies went up dramatically. So people like myself who were had been in the market for quite some time and had got quite a lot of exposure and had been helping a lot of people, all of a sudden, what I thought was going to be, I said to Tammy when COVID started happening, we could see all the ramifications. I said to Tammy, you better be finding a good recipe for Frenchy puppy stew because I think we may be eating some puppies. That was absolutely 100% baloney. It was exactly the opposite. It was like any puppies that you had, people wanted them. And because it's a supply and demand situation, supply had not kept up with demand. Demand went up, prices went up because of it. All right, so what happened? A lot of us, I'd already been in the market, so it wasn't me, but a lot of us, maybe some of you, had made that decision. You know what? I mean, I think I'm going to dabble with this and see what I can do. And because of that, there were a lot of people who all of a sudden decided they were going to breed dogs, specifically in our case, French Bulldogs. So then what happened is the supply about a year later, because that's how long it takes to take a puppy to the point where it can produce puppies, it's going to be a year, probably more like a year and a half by the time those puppies are available. But so that then, a year and a half later, we had a surplus of puppies, and because of that, prices dropped. And so we then went to the doldrums. So where are we today? Because that was really the question. And the answer is, it's absolutely fine. Not a problem for us at all. But we've got to remember that if we think these prices are going to be what they were when COVID hit, that's crazy because those were artificially high prices that were not sustainable. And so you've got to look at what was the price of dogs before COVID and adjust that for inflation, and that's where you'd expect to be now. And so what does that mean? So a couple of things. First thing is, it all depends on the dogs that you're producing. I'm going to talk about Frenchies because that's what I know about. But, in the Frenchie world, if you go back pre-COVID, what was a hot topic? A hot topic would be a platinum dog, right? A platinum dog, there really weren't any fluffies around. So, anything that was a platinum, a lilac and tan without any brindle, those were hot dogs back then. And those dogs were selling for us, $4,000 to $5,000. And if you look today, where are those dogs selling for today? They're selling for, that kind of money. It might be a bit less and it might be a bit more, depending on your marketing skills and the quality of your dogs, and your pedigree and your experience. But it's not that much different. Now, what are commanding higher prices? Just like when COVID was going on, what the high prices were going for were things that were fluffy, because that was a new thing, and that was what people were kind of, wanting to be part of that whole production. And it turns out the fluffies have been very good. They're still in demand and have been still been pretty successful. So, these days, if you want to maximize your financial success, then you've got to be a little careful here, because if you follow new trends don't always work out to be right. For instance, there's some new things going on. I'll give you an example would be floodles, right? Is a floodle something that you should get into? I think it's interesting. I don't know whether it's right for Tami and me. We're looking at it. They're expensive dogs. I mean, you can spend $30,000, $40,000 on a floodle. And, who in their right minds would spend $40,000 for a puppy from you? Who in their right mind to do that? And the answer is only two groups of people. People who've got more money than sense. They can buy whatever they want. Good for them, right? What a wonderful place to be. Or people who intend to make that an investment and turn it into more puppies that then come back and pay them, maybe not as much as they paid for their puppy, that stays close to it. So my argument here is that I think that the market can still be good, but you just got to go about it the right way. There's a long answer to the first question. At this rate, we'll never get through this stuff. So the answer is, I think it's fine. All right. Okay, Mike Bryan says he's not new, but he's just, but he listens a lot. Well, we appreciate having you here. Gentle Giants, bred my lilac and tan Harlequin Merle to a full fluffy pink husky today. Yeah, hope she takes. Absolutely. So there you go. That's an example of new stuff. That that stud fee. You might tell us what that stud fee was, because it wasn't. It was a higher stud fee than you would normally pay, and hopefully you end up with some, really, nice dogs, good quality, great structure, that have got interesting DNA that people want to come to your door, knock on the door and say, I want one of those. So I think it'd do well. Nacho Line says, so free money prices skyrocketed. I'm not sure exactly what Nacho means by free money prices skyrocketed. You might explain what you mean by that. Rafi, who asked the question about whether the market was okay, what would you breed a sable female with? Just curious as to what you'd say. Well, so a sable female, there's a number of things that I would ask. First thing is that since it's a sable, it doesn't carry brindle. Absolutely do not breed to another brindle dog. That's a given for me, because that will. There's Tami. Hey, Tami. I hear her. Don't breed to a non-brindle dog, right? A sable dog, you don't tell us anything else about it. So a sable dog basically can produce fawns, and since it's a sable, it should have one copy of 10 points. So that dog can produce fawns, sables, and black and tans. That's what that dog could breed. If you bred that dog to any dog that doesn't have brindle, has 10 points, you can get black and tans out of that. So that's what I would look at. Now, if your dog carries blue, if it carries cocoa, I would get those genes into there as well and try and get some, chocolates and some blues and possibly some lilacs out of it. And then the last thing I'd say is merles are always interesting. You can take any dog that's not a merle and breed it to a merle and get half merles out of it. Now, fawn merles are not the most interesting merles, right? Tami, would you agree with that? What fawn merles?
Well, there's very few that are really pretty.
They're not the prettiest, are they? But they're still okay.
Yeah, they're still okay.
But that's what I would think about. I would be thinking about finding a merle dog that has 10 points. So that's what I would be doing.
But right. Teach his own eye,
Yes.
So, can't get my.
Rhonda Lee says, hello, my contract protected me when a buyer killed the puppy he bought from me. He now is under investigation by Animal Services.
How did he kill it?
So that
awful.
brings up an interesting thing that I want to talk. One thing I'd written down here was what had happened this last week with conversations I had with people. And one of those things was conversations about people who had got their butts in a ringer because they didn't have a contract.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a story here that is just, it just seems nuts, right? So this person sold, and it's not Rhonda Lee, but Rhonda Lee, I think, had a problem, and she had a conversation with me, which is also part of what brought this up. But anyway, I want to coach this by saying, first thing is, contracts are a way of defining what will happen when things go wrong. Hardly ever do things go wrong, and so the contract, you very easily say, "Well, I don't need a contract. I'm selling this thing as a pet home puppy, and so what can go wrong, right? So I don't need to worry about a contract, right? Absolutely wrong. And we'll just talk about why here in a moment. But I've kind of lost my thread here a little bit. The thing about a contract is that a contract doesn't normally, it just sits in a drawer, a piece of paper somewhere, and it's completely not of any interest because there's nobody's complaining about anything. But when things go wrong, the contract is a thing that protects you and also protects your customer. It's not a way of weaseling out of things, but it's a way of not getting weaseled into awful situations. So here's the awful situation. This person sells somebody, they live in, I think, Wisconsin, sell a puppy to somebody in California as a pet-only puppy. And I think the puppy was like $2,000, right? Fine, everything's fine. Then they get a letter from a lawyer that says they are suing them for $25,000. And the $25,000 is a combination of mostly medical bills. I don't know the exact price, 25,000, but I mean, again, I don't want to. The point here is a big sum of money, a hell of a lot more than the $2,000 from the doctor, and that was a combination of medical bills and anguish, mental anguish, and there was also loss of income because of the time they had to take the dog to the vet bills and everything. But it was a stupid high, big number. So then you think to yourself, well, look, surely I'm not liable for any more than cost of the puppy, $2,000. Let's give them money back. Nah. So what goes on here is when you've got a lawsuit like this, there's two ways this happens. One is that your warranty, your guarantee, explains what happens when goes things wrong. Somebody goes to a lawyer because they're pissed at you, and the lawyer looks at it and says, well, I don't think you've got much to stand on here. I'm certainly not going to do this for free. I'm not going to do this on a contingency. You're going to have to pay me, $5,000 as a retainer to get me started on this. And the whole thing goes away because, for reasons we'll talk about here in a moment, nobody's going to pursue that. Or this is the bad one, is somebody is a lawyer, maybe somewhere like California, and I'm not bashing any of you who are looking in California, but the point here is the lawyer looks at this and says, I looked at they don't have a contract. Well, I'll take this on a contingency because we can get them for pain and suffering and everything else in between. And now there's a shitstorm that comes down on your head. And here's the problem. You don't have a contract. You're not going to go to California to defend yourself. This thing goes to court. You don't show up. You lose. They garnish your wages in your house for some stupid amount of money, $50,000 or something. Where, this could be a terrible situation. So what do you do, Tami? What do you do?
I guess you pray.
You've got to have a contract. You've got to have a contract. The contract has to spell out what the terms and conditions of the warranty is. How long are you going to warranty this dog? This is just the basic things. How long will this warranty last? For us, it would be till the dog's a year old. What will it cover and what will it definitively not cover? It will not cover medical bills. And it won't cover normal conditions that you can see in dogs like parasites and things like that. But it would cover things like life-threatening genetic diseases that are going to impact this dog in that 1 year period. So it's got to explain what it covers and what it definitively doesn't cover. Everything in between gets to be worked out. But here's the next thing. it also specifies what your limit of liability is. My limit of liability is the cost of the dog. I'm never going to pay more than what you paid for that dog. And what the purview, what the jurisdiction is, where will this thing be tried? If you're buying a dog from me, it's going to say in there, any legal battling that goes on will go on within the state of Oklahoma. I do not want to have to defend myself halfway across the country. If somebody wants to fight me over a dog, they have to come back to Oklahoma to fight me. I think those things are so important that if you don't have that contract, you are opening yourself up to a huge liability. And then the last part about this, if you're going to do much of this, it makes sense to have an LLC, limited liability corporation. Tammy's yawning, so I know that I better stop. But a limited liability corporation says they can't come after your house, they can't come after your bank account, they can only come after the things that are associated with the business that you're running. Okay, so that's enough of that. But I think this is so important that
protect yourself.
Protect yourself. And I mean, you've got to protect yourself about stupid shit, right? It's stupid crap that can happen. That if you don't do this, you have this really, opportunity for somebody, a lawyer basically to say, well, we can go get James for a lot of money. Let's give it a shot. And especially if they can go check you out and see what your house looks like, and all these things are just public knowledge these days. An idea about, whether if somebody lives in a shack down by the river, they're probably not going to push you very hard. But if you live in a $10 million mansion, we don't live in a $10 million mansion, by the way, so don't get that attention here.
Nope.
But the point here is the more stuff you've got, the more open you are to this stuff, and the more that you should protect yourself. Have a signed contract on every single sale that you do, please. All right. All right, let's see what we've got for questions, whether we dumped everybody yet. How are the subscriptions going, Tammy? Look, half of people subscribe.
Thumbs up, need thumbs up.
I don't know what's wrong.
Hit that like button.
Yes.
Punch, 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 punch.
Punch, yes. All right, let's go look at some questions now. Well, so Rhonda Lee, by the way, says, my contract protected me when a buyer killed the puppy and bought from me. Yeah, so there you go. So good for you, Rhonda. I'm glad that you did the right thing. So the judge says, I just brought my puppies in from their third time outside, and they all have a bit of a rash on their bellies. No pesticides in my lawn or anything. Is that normal?
You're getting a little grass allergy, probably.
Mm-hmm.
How old are the puppies, and how many shots have they had?
So this is the third time outside. So we don't know that. I presume they wouldn't go outside until they're at least 4 weeks old. So they're between 4 and 8 weeks. But you can let us know if that's right. But
we don't let ours on the grass.
No, we don't.
No, we do concrete if they get to go outside. 9 chances out of 10, they're not running outside. We've got tile that's in there that they can run on.
Well, but I mean, but the reality of this is that puppies are eventually going to go outside and get on the grass.
Yeah, you hope you've had enough shots down there too.
So then 7 weeks, by the way, first round of shots, 7 weeks. So the problem gets to be here is what's going on. I mean, I think what I would do is this: get them outside but not on grass and see whether the problem goes away. If the problem gets worse, there's a grass allergy going on. Right. So, dogs can have grass allergies, and I mean, I guess the argument might be here that if does the mama dog have these allergies, or does the daddy dog have these allergies? Did they inherit it? Thank you. So Gentle Giants is talking about that pink that he bred to. I locked in on an intro rate. I paid $2,000 for his stud fee. So there you go. So that dog stud fee might be significantly more. It might be more like $4,000 when it gets to be proven. And so then it gets to be, significant.
How old is he when he locked in?
He doesn't say.
I did a lock in one time on a young male stud, future stud. I wished I hadn't locked in.
So
we had puppies, and I wished I hadn't ever had locked in.
Well, tell us what can go wrong with a lock-in, because I've got some ideas on this about things you should ask questions about. So what can go wrong with a lock-in?
Well, the dog grows up, matures out.
You don't like the look of the dog down the road?
Well, and then other problems occurred that I didn't know.
So you could be locking in on a dog, and maybe the dog's only 5 months old, and it won't be doing anything for another 5 months, but you're getting an intro price. So you don't quite know how that dog's going to develop, or the dog could die. So you have to ask questions about what happens if you cannot send me semen? So they may not be able to send you semen because the dog died, because the dog's not doing very well, or because they've overbooked the dog. And the day that you want to use the dog, 3 other people are using it too.
That happened me with the first round.
Yeah.
And then I did have to go through with it because I'd already put money down on it.
Yes.
And not only me as a breeder, other breeders
Yeah, so
had the same problem.
you found out about it because you talked to the grapevine. So look, for instance, let's say right now, by the way, Cody does have a special on his dog. What's his name? Cassin.
Don't ask me because
Cassin.
He always comes up with these neat names.
Yeah, but anyway, that dog's a really neat dog. It's a fluffy.
Full. I'll tell them.
Okay.
A full visual fluffy, super beautiful curl coat. It is a new shade Isabella, Harlequin Tweed Merle, carrying pink. He is gorgeous, low to the ground, nice and square.
He did get a few lock-ins on that. The dog is now producing, so the lock-ins are not. It's not a questionable thing anymore. But this is what Cody would do. If you ask Cody about it, you say, "Hey, Cody, what happens if that dog can't produce?" Cody would say right away, "I've got 8 other stud dogs. We guarantee that if we cannot supply you with that dog for whatever reason, we've got other dogs that are of equal or better value that we can hook you up with, and we can get that done." So what he would say is, "Look, you've given me some money. We can move that towards another stud." Why does he do that? Because he cares about his customers and he doesn't want to screw anybody.
You don't want to miss out on a chance to get your dog pregnant.
Absolutely right, exactly. Yeah. That's right. So again, just be careful of lock-ins. Nothing is not if you can get a wonderful $5,000 dog for $1,500, I mean that's wonderful. Just make sure that there's a backup that it goes back to this contract thing. What's going to happen when things go wrong, right? Have you had any experiences with false pregnancies? Absolutely.
Oh yeah. 25 years of doing this, you bet we have. Yeah. It's a letdown.
What we're going on right now. We think.
Yeah, and Phoebe, but Phoebe was telling us she was needing a break.
Yep. So yeah, false happens. So you can get the situation. You have an ultrasound done. It shows you've got puppies, and then all of a sudden there's no puppies.
Oh well, that's an absorbed.
Yeah, well, yes, it's a bit different, right?
Yeah.
So false
other than just missing a pregnancy.
A false pregnancy would normally
happens.
Be that a dog shows all the signs of being pregnant.
It's just like humans.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, I don't know that I believe this, but I've heard that a dog can get all the way to the point that it actually has contractions in milk.
Yeah.
And it's got false pregnancy. I mean, I can't hardly believe that's right. Never seen it, but that's...
I've never had it, but I've heard it.
Yeah, I have too. So it's like, right. All right. Colleen Bacon, when writing a bill of sale for puppies, what are the most important common things you need to protect yourself from? Well, so I don't want to go over this anymore, but I will add some more at the end if we've got time. But I would say this. The first place to start on a contract would be go find somebody else's contract or contracts and look at those and see what's in there. I don't like contracts that are like 5 pages. I think that is just crazy bullshit. Now, when you go buy your smartphone from Apple, there's a contract that's 5 pages of small print that nobody's ever going to read. And so, they're covering themselves for every possible thing they can possibly think can happen. And they know damn well you're not reading it. You're just going to sign the damn thing. But I think that's shitty practice personally. And I think that that you need to cover your bases. And I would go look at, I've got a PDF, by the way. I've got a PDF contract. If you go to breeder101.com, you have to put your email in there because we want your email. That's what we do. And we will give you a free PDF of a contract with our name taken out that you can put your stuff in. And the judge just says you can use Grok or ChatGPT to write a contract. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You can too. And I mean, you can use a lawyer. I mean, it doesn't mean that a lawyer's contract, well, look, unless somebody's a lawyer here, then they can chime in. The problem with this is none of us are probably lawyers. And so, I think it makes sense to understand the contract that you are presenting. If ChatGPT is going to do it, great. Compare that with other ones that you can get online. Look at ours too, which is not perfect. I actually want to change ours a little bit. But anyway, yeah. Hayden, evening. Got the incubator working. First litter becoming Thursday. Congratulations. Good for you. Octavius, I want a platinum pink visual fluffy from Good Lines. How much would I be looking for on average in the market? Thank you. So I want a platinum pink visual fluffy. What do you think, Tammy? I got a number in my head. What do you got?
A platinum
Platinum pink.
Is it 2 copies of pink then?
Yes, 2 copies of pink. It's going to be a platinum. It's going to be 2 copies of cream, 2
That's
copies
an
of blue.
expensive dog.
2 copies
That is
of.
an expensive dog.
Yeah, it is. How
Yeah.
much? How much?
I mean,
how much?
The low end of 30 to 50.
I had 35 in my head.
Yeah.
So we were on the same page.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, folks.
That's K.
Yeah, $35,000. Right.
30 to 50K.
Yeah. Now, why would you have that dog? Because guess what? In today's market, if you've got that dog producing puppies, it's going to produce puppies that are going to be in that $30,000 to $40,000 range. And you have 5 puppies, there's $120,000 litter or $200,000 litter. That absolutely can happen. I know it sounds nuts, but absolutely can happen. But you can also lose your shirt too. Don't go get a loan to go buy a $35,000.
No, if you don't have the money.
Burning money.
Because.
Throwaway money.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit money. I can lose this money. Right? Because things can go wrong. Don't. And I mean, the other thing I'd say on this is, if you're getting into this, would you go, if you were starting out, would you go? No.
No.
What would you start out with? What would you start out with?
I'd start out simple. Basic color. Yeah, you're chomping away. I accidentally did it too a while ago. But
well, why would you? So okay, why would you do
I would go for structure. Always go for structure. That was a silly comment.
Yeah.
Always go for structure.
Yes.
But I would go for a dog with simple color. It's just
like a fawn dog or a
well,
pied
you know
dog
me,
or a blue
I'd go
dog
straight to a Merle.
or a Merle dog. Yeah. And you can buy one of those dogs for how much money?
Oh, nowadays 6, 8K.
Or maybe quite a bit less.
Now, if it's a full fluffy, you're going to pay a little more.
No, we won't put a fluffy in this. But no, but you could go buy a nice looking, decent pedigreed, nicely structured dog, something between $4,000 or $5,000, right?
Yeah.
You know, it may not be one of our dogs because our dogs got other things that come with them, like free breedings, half-price breedings. But the point here is go learn how to do this. There's a number of things you have to learn. You have to learn how to get your timing right. If it's a Frenchie, get your timing right and not destroy the litter right off day one because the vet's being an idiot. Number 2, puppies may get in trouble and need some help. And you need to know how to look after them to bring them back from the brink of death, right? And you've got to invest some money in $1,000 to $2,000 in equipment to go get that to happen. That needs to be part of the thing. And then you have to learn how to market puppies. And all of those things have to work out right on your first litter before you're ready for your next litter and maybe your more expensive dog. Do you agree with that? Okay.
How's our like button? Hit that like button. Double tap it, triple tap it. Whatever you got to do. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, speaking of boom, look at the Boomer Sooners yesterday. Winning against Wisconsin.
Nacho Line says,
"Are you not listening to me?"
It was
great.
I thought it was a boring game.
Well, I mean, we got to win.
Yeah, got to win, but I didn't. It wasn't nail. Wasn't
Last weekend was great.
I like
that
nail.
new quarterback. Oh my goodness, he's so great.
You just like him because you think he's pretty.
He's cute.
Don't be yanking on my.
Sorry.
Especially when you're doing that. Tammy's playing with this, like he's so pretty. He's so pretty. I wish he was wish he was my pool boy.
Yeah.
Why would you want a pool boy when you got me?
Yeah.
I mean, exactly, right?
I'm waiting to push you in the pool.
I'll show you though. Nacho Line says, my sable smut. What's a sable smut? My sable. No, I don't think so. It's Nacho Line. About that. Male bred to a lilac female. I got 1 chocolate piebald, 1 lilac. The mum dog was lilac. Both dogs quad color carriers. Yeah, and both of them had to have carried pied too. So congratulations.
Did you get a little pied out of that? Since both carried pied?
Well, he got a piebald, which means chocolate piebald, which means both parents had to at least carry a copy of pied.
Yeah.
In fact, if you only got one out of it, I like little pieds too.
Yeah.
Castle Hill Labs, beautiful day out here today. 85 now, 73 degrees. The dogs love it. Us too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we like the weather, our dogs like the weather, right?
You bet.
Kit today, when I let Kit out,
where did she get out at?
Oh, out to the garage. Had the door open.
Oh, you had the door open.
Yeah.
Raised in a barn, no doubt.
Yeah. But anyway, Kit, she was struggling.
I hadn't been outside.
Right. Rhonda Lee, necropsy showed. So this is the dog that Rhonda had somebody who wanted to come back and sue her, and she had a contract in place. Necropsy, this is the dog that was dead. Necropsy showed head trauma, hemorrhaging on his head, muzzle, eyes, neck, heart. I had to pay for the necropsy. I have modified my contract because of this. Yes. Good for you. So, yeah. So, back to the contract just for a second here, that when you get bit by this, you realize how dangerous it can be. And so I am adding into our contract that under no circumstances are we paying for any mental anguish. I mean, it seems obvious, right? But it's going to be in there. It's going to be in black and white. We don't.
Well, we also, you need to have 2 vets check out the dog.
Yeah. So that's So in the event that something
and
goes,
then when it comes back to you, your vet.
Yeah, you need to have them have 2. So we say 2 independent vets to do an autopsy on the dog, and then we have the right to want the dog back, and they have to pay for it. I mean, I know it sounds, a bit rough, but I mean.
And then we also go to a vet.
We've never had to do any of those things. Not one time. Never had to do any of those things.
No, but
we have been threatened.
That you're going to go to your vet as well.
Yes.
A vet.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, you got to have backup.
King Tattoos from Australia here says, "Hello, mate.
Hey.
How to help a 1-week-old constipated puppy?"
Oh, now you do that one.
No, you do it. You don't want to do it? Well, what would you? Well, so a constipated puppy. There's a couple of things going on here. The first one is,
how old is the puppy, and
1 week old.
Are you actually seeing it strain to go to the bathroom?
Good point. So,
or it's back in kind of.
So I was going to say, there's a couple of things here. There's the treatment, and then there's the pre-treatment. This is the diagnosis. Is like what has gone wrong to make this puppy backed up. So what Tammy said there is very valid. How do you know that it's constipated? Because it isn't pooping. Maybe that mum's cleaning up and you're not seeing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, if it's an older puppy, then and you're weaning them, and they're not with mom anymore, you will notice.
Yes. So one of the reasons that a puppy could be constipated is because you're tube feeding or bottle feeding the puppy, and the mixture is too rich, not enough water in it. They're basically getting a bit dehydrated.
So, what's the answer to cure it? Help it. Help it.
I mean, the first thing is if a puppy really isn't, then I think the next thing to do is to go give it an enema, which would be some warm saline water, or at least warm water anyway. Warm water, maybe a little bit of mineral oil on it in a syringe, and just squirt that up their butt gently. And you can do that up to 3 times a day. Yeah, don't. Don't
slowly.
Yeah, just slowly go irrigate their bowels, basically a little bit, and that typically will get a dog going.
Right? Are you trying to be sexy, Mr. Chopping?
No, you can't see me on phone. At my age, honey.
Oh man.
At my age, it's hard to be sexy.
Oh man.
It's hard to be sexy.
Show all those hairs on your chest.
Yeah, those grey hairs. 3 of them. I got more hairs coming on my ears. Look, Look, I got more there, and my nose.
Let me do it like I do my dogs.
I'll be sitting at a restaurant, time to come over there, and all of a sudden my eardrum will go beep, oing, 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 because you just yanked the hair out of my ear. That's like.
How about some more thumbs up? Pretty please.
There you go.
Pretty please. We got some up, but let's do more.
We get more people joining us though, basically because I'm being ridiculed.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing about life, isn't it? I mean, it's like if you take yourself too seriously, then nobody's going to particularly be impressed by that kind of behavior.
You gotta laugh.
You have to laugh, exactly. I mean, even in we were having a conversation with our granddaughter today at lunch.
We had a heart-to-heart.
We had a heart-to-heart with them, and we were talking about people can be cruel when they start making fun, and I mean, you have to remember that comedy. There is nothing. There's nothing off limits in comedy. Yeah. I mean, certainly if you're the brunt of the attack, I know it's painful, but there is nothing off limits in comedy. And basically, the whole goal behind comedy is to make you laugh and feel good about life. And so you have to remember that anyway. Right. Oh, so Natural Line says Cairo oil. I think that's how you pronounce it. Tammy knows how to say it for constipation. So the idea behind this is there's a couple of things that you can do with constipation. You can start from one end, which is a butt end, with some maybe some glycerin in some water, just straight water, things to grease up their bowels. And you can attack this from the other end too. You know, I've had times when I've been eating something. In fact, I went on vacation. We went to Mexico.
Yeah, no, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, and I got backed up because I'd eaten something that I thought would really cause me a problem.
Well, it was fish, and you
Yes,
swallowed the bone.
Swallowed the bone, and I thought I was going to be in trouble. I was in a country where I didn't speak the language and so on and so forth. But the solution to that was a good jigger of mineral oil. It was horrible to take like olive oil, mineral oil, cod liver oil, whatever. Basically, it gets down, it coats all of your insides, and it makes it more slippery. And that can help an obstruction. If you've got constipation because of an obstruction, like the dog has swallowed something that it shouldn't have swallowed, like part of a chew toy, then definitely that is totally safe. You can't go wrong, and all you can do is make the situation better. Grease it up. Natural Line says 1 cc of warm soapy water. Yes. So absolutely. I didn't say soapy water, and that's exactly right. Why soapy? Because it helps kind of get this greasy, nasty, stuck turd loosened up, and it just generally makes everything slippery. You know what? Soapy water's like. It's very so absolutely right, Natural Line. Natural Line's always good about this stuff.
Yes, he is.
King Tattoo says, thanks, Nacho. And that's right. Thanks, Nacho. Nacho, so more of you need to be telling us.
Mild soapy water.
Yes. But more of you need to be, telling us about your experiences too.
Everybody chime in. You got ideas, you let us know.
If anybody's got any horror stories on contracts, we'd like to hear those right now. If anybody's got some things that went wrong or what they did and how they change it for next time, tell us about it now.
Join in. We want to hear your voices.
Castle Hill Labradors, OMG, OMG, the blood moon is out right now.
It's not a blood moon. I heard it was a corn moon or something like that. I saw that on. That's not in the United States, the blood moon. No, this one is the corn.
No, I want to go outside and look at it and stop doing this. She says he'd go outside. He says go outside and look now. Don't do that. Stay here with us. In 40 minutes, go look at it. It's supposed to
be so big. Well, they're faster than us because our sun's already down. It was I think the biggest as the sun was setting, and pretty cool.
Castle Hill Lab says it's huge. Oh, cool. Oh, Natural Line can't see it because it's too cloudy right there. Right.
I can go see it.
Go look. Take time. Tuscan House of Frenchies. Hello, Tammy and James. Good to have you with us. Tuscan House of Frenchies. The judge says 7 weeks, first round. I think we're talking about the dog that had the allergy, maybe a grass allergy. Stacy Willis with Cougar Mountain Frenchies. Have you ever seen a dog not rise in PG numbers like normal, like most dogs? We are timing a dog now. We are breeding with Mando, but her numbers have been very slow to rise, and she's been stuck at and you don't say what at a 12 to 15 now. She has my male dog showing every sign that she is ready. Absolutely, we've seen that, and I see this a lot. So the wisdom says,
pretty.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Oh, is it really? Let me just went outside to look.
I wished I'd caught it when the sun set.
Yeah,
because that was where it's the biggest.
How red is it now?
It's extra big. It's not red. It's the color of corn.
Is there a harvest moon?
I don't know. What are people saying?
So back to the PG numbers. Absolutely. I see these dogs. We call them prolonged heats, split heats, delayed heats. Especially in younger dogs, sometimes in older dogs. First heats is very typical of second heats where these numbers just are bouncing around. So what do you do?
So frustrating.
You've got a fine care machine. I don't start breeding until
patience.
18.
What do? You got to have patience. Yeah.
So some people would say, well, start breeding now, just keep on breeding. The problem with that is that if you do that, you can dilute the male dog semen, breed 3 times when it wasn't ready, and the 4th time when it needs to be ready, the dog semen counts crap.
Well, and then when you have a stud you're using somewhere else, they're like, really? I got
Oh
to
yeah,
send
well,
more.
it may cost money to ship it. They may
Yeah.
have other dogs
Yeah.
waiting for it.
It'll
Yeah.
be expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe reasons they don't want to do it. It's like, hey, I'm only shipping you one. I'm not shipping you five. You know,
Yeah.
I can see that too. So in your situation, you want to use Mando. Well, the good news is that Cody will do whatever is necessary to get your dog bred. So he's not going to say just a one-time deal. But I would say this: if you've got a fine care machine, which it sounds like you do, get me involved in it. Call me up, talk to me. Let's just talk about what's going on every day. Blood color, how many days she's been in heat, how she's receptive towards other males, progesterone numbers. They all figure into this to give you the whole picture. All right. So Gentle Giant says you locked in at 30 months when the dog was already proven. Okay, good. Ariana says, what's a lock-in? A lock-in is where you pay for a stud fee before you need it, pay all or some of the stud fee at a reduced price because this dog is not famous yet. And because of that, a person, the stud owner, is trying to prove this dog and will offer that dog to you at a substantially lower price than it would normally be, based on the fact that he or she would like to show what this dog would do. And the best way to do that is to produce some good-looking puppies. That's a lock-in.
Also to help pay for the dog that he just bought.
Well, that too, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. Hey, no, you go buy an expensive dog that costs you $50,000, and you can go get 20 people to lock in at $2,000. You just almost pay for the dog right off the bat. So absolutely. And there's nothing illegal or wrong about that.
No, but you got to know what this dog is going to look like and its background history.
Now, so Fashion Forward Mum, who's always with us, and we always like listening to her, she's got Shih Tzus, and finally, 1 pound, they are getting so big, and 2 weeks old, I'm proud of Mummy, of 17 new babies. Now, I think we had a conversation. Are you telling me that Shih Tzu had 17 babies?
How big is your Shih Tzu?
Well, it looked like it swallowed a bloody basketball before it gave birth.
Oh, my Lord.
Tell us if we're right here. 17 Sept. Good Lord. That's got to be a record.
No kidding. In the World Book of Guinness. Get in there.
Yes.
17 puppies are 4. 17 puppies are 4 litters.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I was going to say,
that's
this
4 or 5
Shih Tzu was the size of a German Shepherd.
Okay. All right.
That was a lot.
Now this makes more sense now. Okay. So don't call up the Guinness Book of World Records, please. Then. Okay. Abraham says, so my dog can't give the pups milk anymore. So how much formula do I need to feed my babies? It's 6 English Bulldogs. Well.
Who's that?
Abraham.
Okay.
Velasquez. He's got, for some reason, Mum can't produce any milk. We don't know how old the puppies are, but they've got to be fed. And so he's got to do this himself. So he's asking, how much do I give? So the question would be, how much do you give? How often do you give it? And what way do you give it?
Got to have your scales.
So the first thing is you're going to feed them goat's milk. Now, you can go get powdered goat's milk. You can get Espalac. We personally like whole goat's milk that we buy at Walmart. I like that the best. It's kind of unadulterated. But any one of those products is fine. You would feed a puppy what it weighs in ounces in mils. A 10-ounce puppy gets 10 mils every 3 hours. That's the amount. And how do you do it? You've got 2 choices. You can either bottle feed, which is slow, and prone to getting in a hurry and aspirating a puppy because it's not swallowing the milk fast enough, it gets in its lung. Much, much, much easier to tube feed. So how quickly?
And faster.
Have you ever tube fed a puppy?
Yes.
How quickly can you tube feed a puppy?
You know it by seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I can tube feed 6 puppies in probably
a minute. He can do it faster than I
probably
can
a
because
minute.
I'm really cautious about making sure the puppy swallows the tube once it goes down in there because I'm always like, ooh, it's going to go down the wrong way. But if they're swallowing it, they'll go to the right place.
As long as you don't give them too much, they will not aspirate.
You don't force it down in there.
Yeah, right.
You kind of stick it back in there far enough that when they start swallowing, it starts moving it itself. You don't push it down in there.
You have to put a mark on the tube so you know what they've got it. But they've got whole videos on this.
Deep to go, yeah.
Somebody said here it's a lifesaver. It is. It is.
It is. And if you've got a large amount of puppies and it's 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning that you're doing every 2-hour feedings, boy.
You're going to be killing somebody.
Yeah. You get to sleep a little
If
bit.
you go to bed, if you feed, look, let's say you had 6 puppies and you're going to bottle feed them, it's probably going to take you the better part of 10 minutes a puppy, 1 whole hour.
And you don't know exactly
every
how
3.
much it's really getting.
Right. Well, you can mark it on a bottle.
On the bottle, but yeah.
But the point here is you just.
But half the time it's dripping everywhere, and it's
11 o'clock at night. You just fed them all. That took you an hour. It's 12 o'clock. You finally go to bed. 3 hours later, 3 o'clock.
No, you're waking back up in another hour if you're doing it every 2 hours.
Well, I say every 3 hours. I would do it every 3 hours. But again, just bear with me on that. At 3 o'clock, you've got to get up again. You've got to feed them all again till 4 o'clock. And then you finish that, you've got to get up again at 7 o'clock to do this thing again. You've just.
Which would you do?
Tube feed them, tube feed them all.
Feed them.
I mean, look, it's not a race. And I mean, when I say I could do that in 60 seconds, I know I could, but I'm not recommending that you try that. But certainly within 5 minutes, you'd have fed the whole lot easily. It wouldn't take you 30 seconds a puppy once you've got your rig set up. So absolutely the way to do it. Nacho Line says, yeah, lock-in means pay a deposit to use a dog, correct? And total could be $5,000, but a lock-in might be $1,000 exactly, right? So that's an interesting thing as well. There could be 2 different ways that you could look at the lock-in. One would be a reduced price because you're prepaying, and the second one would be that this dog is only going to be bred 10 times. That's all I'm going to let this dog breed is 10 times. And so the first 10 people who come up there get to use this dog, and this dog, you've got to pay that ahead of time or a deposit or something. So that's a different version of a lock-in.
Where's your PDF?
Where's my PDF? The PDF, you go to breeder101.com. There's a couple of PDFs in there that Sally has put together to put in there. One of them, and Sally might chime in on this, but one of them is specifically the contract. And the other one, I think, is, well, Sally, tell us what the other one is.
Yeah. And can we get some more thumbs up? Pretty please.
Marvelous Frenchies, what is the deal Cody has now on the new stud dog, and how long was the deal? The deal is $2,000. You don't have to prepay that. It's just the $2,000 is the deal that's going on, and I think that deal will go until he's produced his first litter, and that's going to be in about another 4 weeks.
And remember, he carries Pink. It only takes 1 copy of Pink to do at least half of the litter. Should be carrying Pink.
Natural Line, I had 3 false pregos. Next one is a 4th heat. Never bred yet. She's my ace in the sleep. Yeah, I mean, so this is frustrating when this happens. I mean, we had a dog one time that we got that's Honey. Remember Honey? She was a beautiful pied, chocolate pied. Got her from the Bowleses. They'd been through a tornado. They needed help. We bought a couple of dogs, 3 dogs from them. This one dog was a gorgeous dog, and I tried to breed this dog for them unsuccessfully. Never could get that dog bred.
Yeah, they tried and tried.
Never could get them. And I never went and had a blood test on the dog. I'd know better nowadays. I'd have done it. But we never got that dog bred. Never happened. It was very frustrating because she's a beautiful dog.
Or that.
Just beautiful dog.
TC, what is it, surgical?
Yeah, we did a surgical on her.
Oh, okay.
I only did a surgical one time. It was on that dog. Didn't take. Spent $1,000 to get a surgical done. Does Cody have Cassian's photos somewhere? I don't see him on the website. You're right. He's been slow on this. I need to go hound him some more to get me some stuff so I can at least put it on Love My Pups. So the answer is, if you text me,
one on my phone.
I've got a couple. If you text me, I've got a short video and a picture. If you text me, I can send you some information on him.
His coat is just fantastic. Okay, Mando's coat where it's nice and curls and waves, thick. This other dog's the same way, but I think he's got more curl to it. I've got the sister to him, and she's the exact same thing, and she's got a coat that's just beautiful. Yeah. She's a new shade, Isabella, Harlequin tweed.
She's small and cobby.
And carries Pink.
The only thing I'd say about that dog,
short legs.
She's got too much life in her right now.
Oh, I know.
She's a
puppy.
She is a little.
Well, she's running with
the big dogs.
Yeah, I know, but she's running with Posh, and Posh is like James. James acts like a 8-year-old child running around the house and screaming and hollering, and that's the way Posh is.
I'm just going to let you do this all by yourself.
I couldn't do it.
Have you ever had a male when you pulled he has blood in the semen? Yolk 5 Rs. Absolutely. You betcha. Just a little bit of blood in the semen will look pretty pinkish. It'll look like, it's like, good Lord, what's going on here? Absolutely have it happen. I've had stud dogs that do it a lot. Some stud dogs that never do it, and some stud dogs that do it quite often. It's never been a problem. However, if your vet analyzes the semen, they'll make a comment on it, so they won't like it. But I've never had it be a factor in not getting a dog pregnant. There's lots of factors why dogs don't get pregnant, and it's not been because there's blood in the semen. And then Nacho Line says means he was pulled too hard and popped a little blood vessel, not too serious. I don't know what the reason for it is. I mean, but whatever, something popped somewhere, so sure, I'll buy that. But it doesn't matter. It's not. He's not. I mean, now you can have problems where a dog's got trauma to the tip of his penis, and it's bleeding because of that, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want to do anything because it physically hurt him. That's a different situation. And if you can see blood that's physically on the end of his penis, not in the semen, then that needs to be investigated. You've got to find out what's going on so you can get that fixed. One example of that, we had a Chihuahua one time. You remember that Chihuahua that we bought?
Oh my gosh, yes. I just now remember
Tell that story. Tell that story because it's not
That's
nice.
awful.
What happened?
His little
We bought that dog.
penis got stuck. It
He would
not go back in.
It would constantly get stuck and it would not go back in. And we bought this from a vet, and the vet knew that we wanted to use this dog for, and the vet started giving us some baloney on it. And he said, well, look, I think you need to do something here. So she took the dog back and he cut the dog's penis off. Not to be spiteful.
Not off, but
well,
a good inch and a half.
Penectomy on the dog. Well, the dog had not to give up as a Chihuahua.
That was awful.
But that was a difference.
We had to keep that lubricated.
Yeah,
I mean, we did everything to try to get back in.
Constantly to be sticking out and be strangulated and be raw and just dragging on the ground and just, it was horrible for the dog. Anyway, but that would be an example of
He was
trauma.
the cutest little thing. His name was Jack.
That's right. He was Jack, wasn't he? He was a cute old dog.
Yes, he was.
I have a puppy. Ariana says, I have a puppy that's almost 9 months old. She still has not had her first heat. Is that normal? I'm used to around 6 months old. Nah, completely normal.
Is that a Frenchie?
I don't know, but any dog. Any dog. Nah,
well,
completely normal.
mean, Frenchies are known from 9 months to 16 months.
Or maybe even longer.
And longer. And if they're 2 years old, go have the thyroid
check. 2 years old, start getting worried about it. But yeah, absolutely, completely. Don't worry about this. Don't start getting a panic on this at all.
Yeah, it's just like your male dogs are anywhere from 7 months to 10 months.
So that comes up with another question as to how old should a dog be before you start breeding a female dog? Because look, let's say that it has its first heat at 9 months. The next heat would probably expect it to be at 6 months later, so it'd be a year and 3 months old.
6 months later?
Well, typically, right? Just,
8 months.
Okay, well, either way. But I mean, here's the rule that we apply to, that we do not want to breed a dog unless it is at least a year old and it's reached most of its full weight. If it's a very small dog, then I would wait until it's older than a year. If it's a normal sized dog, for a French Bulldog, 20 to 24 pounds, then I would breed that dog at a year old, but I would not want to breed that dog before then. But AKC says 7 months or older is okay. So the AKC, as far as they're concerned,
that's on stud boys.
No, it's on females too.
Oh, you're serious?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
No.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
Not on females.
What do you think it is?
No.
What do you think it is?
Well, they're probably wanting at least a year.
No.
On females, on males are 7 to 10 months. Hey, somebody
Google that. I want to prove Tammy wrong right here on YouTube that she's got it wrong. It might be 9 months, it might be 8 months, but I think it's 7.
I bet Nacho.
Somebody go Google that, right? I can't Google it because we're using the phone to look at your Somebody Google that and tell us what the answer is. How old does a female dog have to be for the AKC to accept a litter registration? And what are you going to do if you're wrong? What are you going to eat some crow? What are you going to do if you're wrong? You going to apologize to me?
No. Because you never apologized to me.
Okay. Marvelous finishes. I'm using Rohan for my next breeding. It's one of Cody's dogs. I got the incubator for my current litter. Cass is going to be my next pick. I need to lock that in with Cassin. Well, give me a holler tomorrow. Give me 580-799-2873. It's on the description thing. Give me a call and we'll figure out, get you some pictures and talk about how wonderful he is. Yote says, I have a small Frenchie, lacks head and bone. If I add a male with the same size as her, but with head and bone, what is the probability of me getting where you want to be? Well, good, right? So, look, if you've got a dog that's weak in some area, let's say you've got a dog that's got a long tail, right? That would not be desirable in a French Bulldog. It would be in other dogs, but not a French Bulldog. If you've got a dog with a long tail, would you breed that dog to another dog with a long tail?
Well, it depends on what breed.
The French Bulldog. You had a French Bulldog with a long tail. Would you breed them?
No.
No, absolutely not, right? If you had a dog that has a really weak head, typically it'd be a female, has a weak head, what would you look for in a male?
A very big head.
A big head, right, exactly. So absolutely. Overemphasize the things that cause problems. You hoped that was going to be, that's Alibaba.
8 months minimum is what? I just saw that.
AKC female, 8 months minimum. Yes. Okay, 8 months. Right. So I said 7.
You were wrong.
Well, I said 7 or 8.
I was wrong.
We'll wind it back and see here. I said 7 or 8. I think it's 7. It might be 8. So
it's best if you wait till the female is at least a year old. You are not right. You're still wrong.
Here's what all the guys out there.
You're close, but no cigar.
It's like a guy can never, ever, 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 ever be right. He's just not. I mean, if you are right, the whole world would all of a sudden explode and disappear. You know, so there'll be a day that some woman says you're right, and then we'll all cease to exist. It will just the whole thing will just blow up.
In your dreams.
I finally got something right.
No, you did not get it right. You said there's a difference. 7 months and 8 months. You're a numbers guy.
We can ask the audience who's right. Thumbs up if James was closest. Thumbs down if James is an idiot.
No, you don't want them doing thumbs down. You want them thumbs up.
Okay.
But not for you.
Well, we've got to run through these because we've got quite a few questions to go through, and we're coming up on time limit.
Yeah, I know. You gabbing too much.
Today's my female's 4th day of signs of heat. Been checking her every day with a paper towel, a freezy, and a Ziploc bag. Should we go a PG test on day 7 or before? So typically the advice on this is don't start counting until you see blood. That works most of the time.
So when she's putting the samples of blood on a paper towel and putting it in the
I don't know why you
freezer,
put it in the freezer.
well, they're probably going to use it for the stud to get him ready.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
you
might
introduce it to other
I
females.
thought about this before, that you might take dogs in heat, and especially as they get close, and store it in a freezer so people could use it for a stud dog that wasn't very...
Or other females to smell and
I
mess
don't
with
know
it.
if that'll work,
Bring 'em
but
into
it's an
heat.
interesting idea.
Just being around.
But the point here is, day 1, first signs of blood, day 1. 7 days,
Thumbs up,
7 days. Thumbs up because James was right. Thumbs up because James was right. Thumbs down because...
Right. You're such a dork.
So day 7 or 8, first PG test, yes. Sooner, if the dog was red and it's gone light, sooner. If the dog is still very red, I would wait a little bit. But I wouldn't go past day 9 to do my first PG test.
My dog having dreams?
Natural Line says you breed for what you want. 2 + 2 = 4. Correct.
You need to go back.
I have 3 standard poodle pups, 5 weeks old today. Any tips on moving forward? Thank you for what you guys do for me. Well, I'm not sure what you're asking about moving forward. Are you talking about trying to sell these dogs? You're trying to sell dogs? Here's the secret to this. Good photos. And we have at breeder101.com a whole course about, it's my most popular, most purchased course. They all come with a money back guarantee, is the secrets of selling puppies, or maybe the secrets of marketing puppies. That is our #1 course. It's not very expensive, and that is our most successful course because it shows you all the things that we do to make you more successful. And there's a number of things that you have to do here, but it's a combination of when do you start, how do you present the puppies, how do you take pictures and videos, where do you put those videos, and then other things like how do you do contracts, how do you find people, so on and so forth. I recommend that you go buy that. Money back guarantee. Don't like it? Get your money back. Okay.
Good girl.
Natural Line says
ready?
day 6 through 9 is good.
No.
When there's no more blood and looks clear, like watery pinkish. So yeah, so you know, correct. I mean, there's some things that you see on a dog that is most dogs when they are ovulating, their blood color has gone much lighter, not totally clear, because that top probably means you're past ovulation and you should be breeding. But they will typically get interested in males and may stand and let the dog get close to them, but typically not up on their back, what we call standing heat, until they're actually ready to be impregnated, which is typically a couple of days after ovulation. Castle Hill Labs, I wait on my labs until 2 years old all the time. Great. A lot of people, bigger dogs, do that. I think that's probably wise. And again, what works for you, then that's what you should do. If you've been successful doing it that way, you like the results, continue on. The time that you don't continue on is when you've had lousy results. You need to mix things up. Carson says, but that's what my breed club requires as a responsible breeder is not sure about small breeds. Exactly. So yeah. So you don't want to get the ire of your breeders because you're breeding a Labrador too soon. And so I think the bigger dogs, that probably absolutely makes sense. But you know, is there a guaranteed a point where it's like it's the dog is 1 year and 11 months? Should you breed that dog when you're waiting for 2 years? Sure, absolutely. You know, I don't think this thing is every dog's going to be slightly different. And you know, rules are there mostly as a rule of thumb, not as a black and white. There's a line that's crossed. I mean, obviously, if you breed a dog before 8 months, and the AKC won't allow you to register that litter, that is a hard and fast line. But nobody in their right mind is breeding dogs at 8 months old. All right. Okay, and she says, and Lisa also says, I'm waiting on 2 years, and I also want OFAs. So that's another thing. These bigger dogs typically do OFA, and you need to wait until they've got their full structure before an OFA is. You know, we're looking at things like hips and things like that. Before those things are particularly meaningful because they're still growing. So good point. Yep. Oh, Leon Lisa says thumbs up for Tami. The girls got to stick together. Bullshit. We just can if I had some way of disconnecting you from the feed, Leona, we would. All right. Oh no, but I've got 1, 2, 3 people who gave me thumbs up. Thank you. Fashion forward mum, James, what state are you all in? State of confusion. State of not being appreciated by my wife for getting things right. The state of being underappreciated. Those are the states that I'm in. No, we're in Oklahoma. Dope Boy says, is 3,000 reasonable for an AKC champion full right standard poodle? I'm not a. So Tami has a poodle. It's a full. I'd call it a party. Is that a party poodle, Tami? No, she's off camera for some reason. But she paid a lot more than that for that dog. So I would think the 3,000, you're definitely not out of the realm at all. Leanne Bandy, we tested our girl at day 7. She was at a 1.27. Tested 2 days later, and she was at a 0.73. And then a day after, she was at a 0.8. I can tell you this: your vet is making money off you. I would never advise you after you had a dog that came back at a 1.27. I would say that here's my rule of thumb. Typically, a dog has got numbers that are something around a 1 for the first 5 days of its heat. So there's no point doing any tests until at least at day 5 or 6. Then, whatever the number is, that's a pretty dog. And whatever the number is, I figure it'll go up 1 point a day until it gets to a level of 5 ovulation. So I would not be, if a dog was a level of a 1, I wouldn't test that dog. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 4 more days before it could ever get to ovulation. I wouldn't test that dog again for another 3 or 4 days. Sooner if the blood color went pink.
2.8 ounces at 7 weeks old. Little tiny, full fluffy. New shade Isabella. Panda Husky. Yes, ma'am. She is looking for a home. Look at that little flat face. Isn't she precious? She's a new shade Isabella in tan. No, she didn't get to carry pink. She is a new shade Isabella in tan Panda Husky, full fluffy, and I weigh 2.8
Small.
ounces.
And she comes with.
Yes, future half price breedings as long as you want to keep breeding her when it's time to be bred.
You come back to us.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
with
then
our stud's name on
and
it.
every female that you produce from those breedings will also get that lifetime
Look at her
half-price
little
breedings.
head.
She's
Her
a very pretty
head,
little dog.
her little flat face, her little inverted nose there. Good open nares.
She
Her
was.
bite is excellent. Little cat feet, little tight feet.
Yes.
I call them cat feet.
Yes.
Little bitty short tail. She's nice and cobby.
Yes, she's a pretty little dog, and she's
Yeah.
a nice personality too, isn't she?
Oh yeah, you
She's-
tweet.
She was. Our granddaughter was
Pretty.
in there with her today with the puppies, and they were all playing and having a great time with her. And she was.
Mhm.
They were
That's
all
the
just
other side
really
of her.
enjoying it. They were just
Yeah.
really enjoying
Yeah.
Mackie's company.
Yeah, her little 10
Yep.
points up her legs.
Yes,
She's a pretty thing.
she is.
Pretty,
Okay, I think
pretty
we've
thing.
got past the point where we should be.
Call me 580-799-1910 and FaceTime me this baby.
So somebody was asking
Needs
about
a home.
poodles, full size championship poodles,
Mhm.
and they raise them,
Mhm.
and they want to know what the market price was on those poodles. And I said, well, you've got one that you paid a lot more. They said $3,000, and I said, you've got one that you paid a lot more than that for, right?
Mhm.
But it was a special situation. You
Mhm.
absolutely wanted to have that
Mhm.
dog.
Yeah,
And so,
because I'd been waiting a year and a half, and she is a phantom merle, and a small standard is what I wanted because I'm 5 foot. I can't handle a bigger dog.
I'm
than what she
5'2".
is.
That's why she
She
chose.
weighs 42
I'm
pounds. at
5'2".
8
That's why you
months.
chose. That's why you chose to marry me, isn't
Yeah,
it?
right.
It's a small little dude.
Mm.
But so I think the 3,000, by the way, for the lab, I think you're in the right range. But it could be more, it could be less. But I think that I think the
Well,
range.
you got to look at the structure. You got to look at the pedigree. It's just like in our Frenchies, structure and pedigree.
So I'm going to finish this out here by just talking a little bit about how you go about pricing a dog, and then we're going to say goodbye. So look, one of the things you should do here is, what is your marketplace? Where are you trying to find people to buy your dog? If it's local, then look and see what the local dogs are going for. If it's all over the United States, then go to places like Pets R Us or Pet.com and see what generally those dogs are going for. Get a feel for it that way. Look on Facebook and see what people are. But there's a big difference between dogs that might be sold in Wisconsin versus dogs that are sold in California, or Wisconsin dogs that can go anywhere in the United States. So don't price yourself where you're way low, and don't price yourself where you're way high. Find out what your market is asking for those dogs. And then you don't want to be, our goal here is not to be the low person on totem pole. We want to be the best. And best means more expensive dogs, but more expensive dogs need to have good structure, good pedigree, and people stand behind them and help people out. So all that figures into that as well. So, just to say what's the price for a dog, it is hard to give you a number that means anything, but it gives you a starting point. But again, your goal here is not to be the lowest. Your goal should be to be one of the best. And on that note, anything else to say?
Yeah, isn't she beautiful?
She is beautiful. She's a nice little puppy.
Her needs a home. Her's the last one.
She is.
Her's the last one.
And how old is she now?
She's 7 weeks.
7 weeks old, right?
Yeah.
So,
7 weeks. Her need
by the way,
home.
we like to be in a situation where a litter is spoken for. This puppy won't leave until it's 9.5 weeks or older, because we want to give it its 9-week shot. So you had its 6-week shots last week. It's going to get a 9-week shot, and then it's time for this puppy to be going on and to their new adopted family. But we like this situation where we are, ahead of the curve, and we've found great places for these guys to be. That guy, this little girl here, doesn't have a place yet, and she should, because she's I think she's one of the, I love her structure. And the only thing that's doing her in compared to some of the others, she doesn't carry pigs.
Right.
But her price reflects that too.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, everybody. Say, give me home, please.
Not a pied dog. That's a husky.
No,
not a pied
it's
dog.
a panda husky.
A panda husky. You think it's a pied dog if you didn't know any
Husky
better.
Supreme is her daddy.
Yes, that is a husky. It's
And
different.
Willy Wonka is her granddaddy. And that's on
Yes.
her mama's side.
Yes.
Little Sophia.
And do you know
That's
what?
why her's so little.
And her daddy.
Her daddy's little too.
It's very little, and he is co-owned by
Tony Hill in the UK,
Yes.
and Christina Puckett.
So Christina and Dustin Puckett here.
Oh, she's so precious.
Yes.
Look at that face.
Yes, and of course she's full AKC and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff.
yeah.
Full rights, full
Oh,
AKC.
yeah.
We don't.
Oh,
we don't.
yeah.
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 All right. I think based on that, Tammy.
That little rope on her nose is so cute. I do. I got a nice rope. I got a nice little rope. I got a nice little rope.
So last part here is, can you explain AKC championship meaning on the AKC paperwork? And so Castle Hill replies to that. AKC CH, capital CH, in front of the dog's name, it shows a ring confirmation points. So that's correct. You have to show a dog
Say bye-bye.
in an AKC accredited competition. And then each time that dog wins first, second, third place, it gets points for that. And if it gets enough points, then it gets to be a champion. And there's different ways you can be a champion in different circumstances. Champion normally means champion for us would be champion based on structure, but it could be on agility or other things. There's other ways that you can have champions.
I took your sister.
And I don't know
Here
about
she
those things
is.
to talk about
Come
those
get
things
her.
correctly. But
Yeah.
the point here is, it takes here's the good and the bad of this.
You be mean.
Just because a dog is a champion doesn't mean it's the best dog in the
Okay,
world,
Mama,
but you've
I
got a
brought
good
her back.
idea that it's probably got decent structure if it's a champion. If a dog is not
Alexa,
a champion, doesn't mean that it's
Play
crap,
some
because
soft
they just
music.
nobody's taken the time and effort to put it in the show ring. And part of the problem here is that there's a lot of colors in the Frenchie world that you can never put in the show ring. The show ring only allows creams, pieds, brindles, fawns. Those are the only colors that are allowed to be in the show ring. You can't have blues, dogs with 10 points, chocolates, rojos, lilacs, fluffies, big ropes, huskies, kois. None of them can be in the show ring. You cannot ever make those dogs champions because they cannot be in the show ring. Does that mean they don't have the quality and structure of a champion dog? No, just they can't be in the show ring. And it takes a lot of time and effort to go to the show ring. Do we go in the show ring? We have. We don't do it for a long, long time.
AKC was in Elk City, and guess who was there showing their Frenchies? Perry Payson.
And his name is important
He's
because
the one that produced Winston. And so I think it was the son
Winston, who won the whole thing last year. The winner of everything last year.
Yeah. The Westminster.
So why would he be?
So, and he had the daughter there too. Beautiful. Cody videoed, and beautiful.
But this is an interesting thing about this championship points. Why was he in Elk City? Because Elk City is a town of 12,000 people.
Yeah. My son goes, don't you have other big shows to be to? And he goes, well, yeah, but I was close by. I thought I would bring mine up here. Well, what he's doing is he's getting the points on who he's showing. And so they have to have so many points to get for championship.
Well, I want to explain that a little bit more.
And finish up as grand champion.
You get points for winning in the ring against other dogs. If you're in Elk City, Oklahoma, the number of dogs you're competing against is
wait
small.
a minute. I've seen some people at Elk City, Oklahoma, AKC show that are very big in name. But look, but if you were to show in Dallas, the competition would be fierce. More,
And the competition in Elk City, so you can get the same number of points. Again, people out there who know
Elk City has a very nice program going on.
I don't want to knock this, but I mean, he's playing the game correctly, isn't it? Look, you try to get.
Yeah, you got to go. It's almost every weekend. You've got to load up and clean up and run them through this,
and it's political.
Always
political.
Everything's political.
Well, yeah, to an extent.
Everything has politics.
I'm not knocking this. I'm not knocking this.
It's good for getting your points.
I think the AKC is generally good for the breeding anyway. I mean, I think that they're, there's some things I don't care for about the AKC, but I think that, but it's not, we've joined the club, right? We're part of the AKC fraternity. And I think that, there's people who bitch about the AKC. There's not much that I can bitch about on the AKC. And I think that, most organizations have got things that you're not going to completely agree with. But I agree with 90% of the AKC. So, and I mean, also it does,
How many thumbs up we got? Good job.
Oh yeah, that is good, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yes.
yeah.
But it's dropping off now because we're supposed to
Yeah,
be quitting.
yeah.
But I was going to say something else there now.
I don't know.
Was it important?
No, probably not.
Hey,
But
Bubba.
you can call me to FaceTime that sweet little baby. Her name's Dolly, like Dolly Parton. And visit with me about her. And we can FaceTime 580-799-1910. She's a precious baby.
And look, I want to end this on one very, very important point. And it's
That you were wrong.
talking mostly to the men out there, that even when you are right, you are still wrong. And I think you need to learn that lesson. The sooner you learn that in your life, the less strain and stress you'll have on relationships with other women.
Yes, honey. It's the answer of yes, honey.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. Almost always it is. Now, I know I'm going to say one last thing here. That was at a wedding. We used to have a wedding venue. It was a lot of fun. We had weddings every weekend. Did that for about 11 years. And there was a one.
Don't say it.
No. I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. But we have this thing we got going where we'd have this dance where we get everybody up on the dance floor who's married and find out who'd been married the longest. And so there'll always be people there who've been married for 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
There was this old guy out there with his wife. They were a great couple, but they were old. I mean, they were probably 80 years old. And, they won the whole thing hands down. They were like being married a lot longer than anybody else out there. And so, I always interviewed them as a couple to say, what is the secret to this? What can you tell this couple who's getting married today or have just got married about what your secret is to this successful marriage you've had for so long? And he started off by saying, well, I told my wife right away exactly how this was going to work. And I thought, oh, shit, this is not going to be good. He says, I told my wife I was making all the important decisions. And I was like cringing the fact that what's going to come next. And he said, but you know what? So far, they've all been small decisions. I thought to myself, you're a smart man. Anyway, there we go. What else you got to say, Tami?
Well,
that you're wrong?
My class reunion was up together, talking about how long people have been married.
Oh, yeah.
And a girlfriend that I had back then, Cindy, her parents are it's having their anniversary of 69 years.
Good Lord.
That's a long time. That's a long time. It's rare these days.
Can you survive with me for 60
No.
We'll both be in the ground for that date comes up anyway. Not because probably because one of us will have killed the other.
Yeah.
It'll be at maybe we'll both take each other.
We're coming up on 18
time.
years.
Like you'll have poisoned.
Or do you know?
You'll have poisoned me, and I'll realize you gave me arsenic, and I shot you. And
no, it's not arsenic. It's that green tea I've been.
Well, if you do it slowly, that's the way to get it done, right?
Okay, let's let these people go.
No, we can stay here as long as we want to. They can. Anybody. We've still got people watching us. Almost as many people as ever we started. We can talk about life in general, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about grandkids.
People can chime in anytime they want. They're probably chiming in, and you're just ignoring.
No, I'm watching. No, people are just listening to us just for the what the hell because they've got nothing nothing better to do.
Listen to you jabber away.
So
chatter, whichever.
So Tammy's, you're now 67.
Mm-hmm.
You're 67, right? And I'm a few years past that. So what is important to you these days?
Oh, how old are you?
I'm 70.
Are you 70? Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were getting by without telling your age.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my 70. I feel like you should be proud of your 67. I think you look great for 67. I know you look great for 67. I mean you're
bags.
I'm going to give you a compliment right here, everybody here. You are always, when I compare you with people who are in your decade, you're always the prettiest girl in the room.
Okay, I'm going to have to go, folks. It's getting so deep in here.
It's a compliment.
What have you done wrong? What did you buy?
And I would also say this, is that, you are still able to look at things from different directions and come up with different answers about things that you thought you knew the answer to, but you can look at it a different way. And I think that's an important thing. We can get very stayed in our ways as we get older. And that's one of the things, you have to think about what was going on with your parents that you wanted to replicate. And what were the things that you thought that you could do better? And remember those things, because it's very, very easy to get in the point where you start saying things like, oh, it was so much better back in the day. And it's horseshit, because it wasn't. It's always getting better. Life is always getting easier. I mean, not everything, but generally, the prospects we have for the future are better than what they were in the past. when you start to look at some of the crap.
Somebody said smooth talker. Yeah, that's why his eyes are brown.
But I mean,
he's so full of it.
No, but I mean, you just think about this. I mean, I came to America when I was 23 years old, right? In 78 is when I came here, right? America's legacy doesn't go back that far. 1776 was when we got independence from Britain, right? A couple of 100 years ago. If you think about how this Oklahoma was, now 1908 I think is statehood for Oklahoma, so we're going back 115 years before this was Indian territory and before it was opened up. And if you think about what it took to live out here, I mean, you had to be a friggin' tough son of a bitch to want to even come out here in the first place, let alone try to settle this land and even travel out here to get here.
What's that movie where they came across on the wagons? Oh, Kinsey, my daughter-in-law's
1889 or 1879.
Granddad came in the wagon.
Yeah, right. I mean, those people, and you know, when people say it was,
and that was over in Silverton, Texas. Look at those canyons through there. It just, or look at Montana, the mountains. Oh my gosh! And the winters were just awful, awful.
Oh, I'd have come across the first creek, and I'd say,
"Oh, what would you have done if you come across on a field and there's a tornado coming?" You know, it's like.
Well, I mean, you know, so things that are much more likely than that would be that somebody breaks a leg or gets bitten by a rattlesnake, or that you run out of food, or the Indians attack you. And I don't want to mean that in a bad way about Indians, because this was their land before we were ever here, right? So they had every right to attack us,
right?
Every right to attack us. But the point here is that you didn't have a cell phone where you just get on a cell phone and, can you send an ambulance out, please, to Coffee Creek? Because my son just broke his leg. It's like, you got to deal with that shit. You know, it was. So when people start talking about the future's always better, and I think it hopefully always will be better than the past. So we need to embrace this fantastic opportunity that we have, and this fantastic opportunity has been laid down by, and I'm getting kind of rambling on here, but it's been laid down by our forefathers, who gave great sacrifices to make this what it is today. And I mean, I think that it's important that we realize the hardships and the problems that other people have gone through. I mean, there's other places. I mean, most of this earth, 50% of this earth or more, is covered by people who are impoverished in a really tough situation and struggling.
Our history moments needs to be over.
No, we've still got a lot of people watching. No, but I'll stop now. Again, look, as a displaced Englishman who now lives in America, I am so happy that I'm an American, and it doesn't mean that I relinquish my English heritage, because England's a great place too. But America is a fantastic place, and I love America. So there we go. For what it's worth. Thanks for watching, especially this crap at the end here.
Give me a call on that little puppy.
Here you go. Right.
Oh, and Cody's got puppies too.
Does he?
So call me. I can hook you up. I have the connections.
What's he got?
He's got little Husky Supreme babies as well.
Right. Are they as pretty as ours? No.
I didn't get to look at them this last time.
Well, I would say this mama dog, Sophie, is a pretty dog, because she's a Willy Wonka. Yeah. She's a Willy Wonka product. And which is also, by the way, a gobstopper. Cody's stud gobstopper is a brother to
Sophia.
And so, he's the reason that the gobstopper is there is because it's a really excellent stud. And the reason we have Sophia, who is not an inexpensive dog, was that she comes from great lineage. She was a beautiful dog. So anyway. But
okay.
All right. So at that point, we really are going to say goodbye.
Thumbs ups.
And we've definitely gone long on this.
And all the nice compliments.
Yeah. And hey, thanks for watching and wasting a perfectly good day when you could be doing something much more important.
Like seeing the moon.
I look at the harvest moon or whatever it's called.
It's not harvest.
Right.
Corn something moon. I can't remember.
Naturally, says sleep with one eye open, James. Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah.
Bye.
If I don't show up next weekend, I want an investigation done. All right, bye. See you, everybody.